Hi, this is Mark Stephens, and you're watching Elements of Jazz TV.
Elements of Jazz, your visual jazz experience.
My name is Deanna, aka Jazzy Girl, Music Director of FM 885 KSBR. Very, very excited to introduce this artist to you tonight. It's going to be an amazing show, and I was told by Q that this is the most artists we have on stage so far. So, fasten your seatbelt. This artist has toured with all the superstars such as Diana Ross, Chaka Khan, Stanley Clarke, James Ingram, Kirk Whalum, Take Six, George Duke, and Boney James, to name a few, and most recently Josh Groban. So he took a little time off to give us a little treat tonight. He also co-wrote a few chart-topping songs with Boney James, but he has just released his own unprecedented star-studded debut CD, which is The Dream of the Peaceful Warrior. Without any further ado, please put your hands together for Mark Stephens.
We are here at Spaghettini's Grill and Jazz Club, and we're here for my CD release party, and it's a very exciting day for me. And I have a big band here. I've got a 14-piece band, 5 horns, and a 6-piece rhythm section, 3 vocalists. So a lot of good friends of mine and stuff, a lot of the guys from the Josh Groban band are there. It's sort of a reunion of sorts, and yeah, very exciting day. The Dream of the Peaceful Warrior. It's a concept album about peace, celebrating peace, and it features a lot of jazz artists, today's jazz artists, some of the greats, really, I think, from Marcus Miller to Take Six, Chaka Khan, Jonathan Butler, Kirk Whalum, Boney James, Andre Crouch and the Andre Crouch Singers, Tata Vega and Crystal Murden, terrific gospel singers. Very excited to have it finished. Worked on it for a long time, and that's what we got going. Yeah. A few years back I went to South Africa with Chaka Khan, and then I met Nelson Mandela. We were so fortunate to be invited to his house, and we had tea in his living room, and he talked for a while, you know, about world affairs and different things, about inspiration, about taking personal responsibility to change the world. And he was just so inspiring, you know, that it just motivated me to do something, you know. And that's part of the genesis for this project. And so I said, well, let me do something different, you know, instead of just put out you know, just a jazz album, whatever. I wanted to do this concept record. And it took a while to kind of get it all honed in together and get the different people I was working with to find time to do it. My upbringing was, I was raised in the church. I started playing piano in the church when I was about 10. And it was a gospel church, and Andre Crouch and Walter Hawkins were like our favorite artists, and that's kind of what I grew up with. I grew up with lessons, also taking lessons, but playing in the church by ear also. So that was like a good combination to have, you know. And just sooner or later, it just took over. Music just took over everything, and I just followed my dream, you know. So that's a little bit about the spirituality. I suppose some of the concept of the record and wanting to do something, you know, like that comes from that, I suppose. Andre Crouch was my first influence. I loved his piano playing, and I was trying to play piano, you know. So he was one of my main ones, but as I grew older and started studying jazz and whatnot, I would have to say that Bill Evans is probably my main influence. Bill Evans, Herbie Hancock, Keith Jarrett, McCoy Tyner, also George Duke, terrific player, and really someone who when I came to LA, I really looked up to George, and he was, to me, a really leader in jazz, and someone so versatile that could do everything, you know. And he also had a remote keyboard that he would play, you know. So I thought, well, if he can do it, then, you know, I'd like to do it, try to do it, you know. So yeah, George Duke was a great influence, and I was lucky to be able to work with him in his band and do some DVDs and stuff. So it was, that was a dream come true too, getting to work with all these great artists. But I'll tell you at least some of my favorite moments. One was getting to work with the late, great Michael Brecker. That was a big goal of mine for years, and just love his stuff, you know. And he's one of the greatest, and that was really a dream come true to work with him. That's on Vision Quest. That's one of my favorite tracks. But I also love the track on Imagine. I used a vocalist named Quinn, who sings with Blackstreet, and he sang on a Boney James record that I worked on, and it was nominated for a Grammy for Boney. Andre Crouch, working with the Andre Crouch singers on this tune, Sesa Manembe, was a lot of fun also. It's one of my favorites too, I guess. mean, I'm hearing her sing all the time, you know, so, but I thought, well, you know, why not just bring her along? See, she's always singing the tunes, you know, I know she knows them, so yeah, it's a great thrill for me, and I'm really proud of her, both my kids, but she was on stage tonight, and she was really great. Yeah, I enjoy that. She was excited too. You know, I would love to give her enough experience where she could work in this business if she wanted to, and it sounds like she would like to sing some, so trying to get her feet wet, you know. Well, the 5 CDs on rotation in my car, that's pretty easy. They're probably all Steely Dan albums. I love Steely Dan. One of the songs that we do, one of the songs from the record is Groove Junkie, and that comes from a Donald Fagen quote. When they were coming out, touring again, nobody thought they would tour again, and the interviewer, he did an interview in the LA Times, and the interviewer was asking, well, you know, you've been, you know, your sordid past, or, you know, some problems, whatever, and he said, those things they have a way of working themselves out, he said, and now we're just groove junkies. And so that's how I got the tune Groove Junkie. I said, let me write this little Fagan-esque kind of thing, and that's a kind of a dedication, a big influence for me. One of my favorite bands, if not the favorite. So it would be, you know, it would be Royal Scam, Asia, Two Against Nature, you know, Gaucho. That's 4 albums right there. I only got 1 more. I have to put some Bill Evans in there probably. You Must Believe in Spring. Bill Evans, Eddie Gomez, and Elliot Zigman. Great piano trio record. One of my favorites. Very sensitive and beautiful.
Imagine there's no heaven above us, only sky. Imagine all the people living lives in pain. Ooh.
Nothing to kill or die for, and no religion too. Hey, hey. Imagine all the people living lives in peace. Hey, hey.
You can find it on CD Baby and iTunes. It's easy to find. Mark Stephens with a PH. So, yeah, you can also, there's a free download featuring Kirk Whalen on my website. It's called Love Will Lead the Way, and that's just a track I just put on there for people can download it. The website is markstevensmusic.com. Well, to my fans, I would say that I hope you accept this album, take this album in the spirit that it was intended, and just a celebration of, it's really made from love, this album, and it's about love, really.